I've shared with some people that for me, as my business got busier and busier, we did, I think, 57 deals last year. I have one assistant. We're both kind of run off our feet, and we're both over 50, which is a key point in all this. We remember nothing. I have no idea what I had for breakfast this morning. I know Wanda and I drove here. We have no idea how we got here. So, let alone remembering to keep in touch with a client. You know, I think I talked to them maybe last week, and then I look it up and go, oh my God, that was 7 months ago. Like, no concept. So, things were starting to slip through my fingers, and it was actually at a meeting here a year and a half ago, I think, when Chuck shared his plans and all clients, that I went, oh, that's the answer. That's what I need. I need something that reminds me every morning what I'm supposed to do. And like everybody, could never find the time to do it. So last August, I went to my cottage for a week in the summer, which was kind of a nice thing to do, all by myself. I booked it off work, which was really hard to do, but it became such a priority that I was able to do it. And I don't think I ever got out of my pajamas or my sweatpants. And from morning till night, I sat with this great big pot of coffee. And I worked 10, 12 hours a day until I had all the plans done. And not only the plans, but everything that would support the plans done. So at this stage of a transaction, I'm going to send a letter. I wrote the letters so that everything has been done and systematized. So I've now been using it for about 6 months, Chris, my assistant, and I just want to share with you what we've done. And I will put screen captures of my system into the Star Group Dropbox by the end of today. So anything that you can use of it, feel free to do so. Again, with credit to Chuck for having got it started. I've added to my systems, modified, changed, whatever works for me, because I'm in a recreational market. Collingwood, pleased to meet you if you have any clients. I know, we compete.
For themselves.
You should have a recreational property. You're not going to need a rest, you know.
They have a Blue Mountain where he's from.
I'll just share it with you. So we're already logged in, and if you would just go to do plans. So these are all my to-do plans that I have in there, and I'll just walk, and so each of these I've created. It's super easy to do in BRO. So you're gonna, when you go into BRO, for those of you using it, you know, you have that settings little gear. You go settings, go to to-do plans, and I'll show you. So this one, let's start at the very beginning. We have a buyer who's searching. I never had a plan for that before. Just went by the seat of my pants. So I've input all this, and it's real easy. There's add a step. So if I want to change, add, delete, it's as simple as clicking that and allows me to do it. So this is update assignees and plans. So Chris, for example, is my assistant, so I can assign it to her. We're in the process of hiring another person, so then we'll adapt and assign it to them. Account owner is me. It means it lands on my responsibility to do that. So in this case, update who's going to do what, enter it into our touch point plan, which is something else. Refer, or reminder to thank the referrer. We put it on Trello, which is a weakness we have, but it's just something we do right now. Putting it into the home finder search, booking their consultation. You can see these are all day 0. So this happens immediately at the time that we get the person. And then over the next couple of days, we send them by email their thank you letter. And you'll see it says email, and that email is pre-written, so I don't have to think about it. Check for seller match. That has actually been really good. Going through the database and looking who do I have in my database that might be a match, and I have found some. 10 days, we've got do the Geo Warehouse enhanced report for the property they've chosen. That date is constantly changing, right? Because it depends when they find it, but we had to put it in somewhere. And then a reminder every basically 15 days doing a follow-up with that person. So when I think it's been 4 days and it's been 7 months, it no longer lets that happen. So that's the buyer. So if you want to click the back
Hey, Gord.
button.
Can I ask a question?
When it says add a step, can you add a step in any part of the sequence you want to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to do it by the date, right? 0 day,
Okay.
day 1, day 60. And you don't have to take pictures of the ride. It's all going to be in Dropbox for you. So if you can hit that, back button. I'm going to go through each plan with you here. At any point, you can go stop if you wish.
You know what, Marg? You're gonna laugh your ass off. Gordon and I have been going through our stuff, and look what I found. So this is the hard copy of all of that shit. How many of us have these still?
I do.
I don't anymore. I threw
So
mine
what I
out.
talked to Dan
Stage
Paris,
one
and they've
listing.
merging the old database with the new database, so this stuff should be in it eventually.
And again, you're going to customize to what works for you. So we'll look at a new listing, stage 1. And so again, when you put in the date, I didn't want to go today over the technical side of it. Things like day 0, day 5, whatever, a lot of that's going to be automatically generated in the back end. You'll get reminders on the correct date. So you can see here, we do a 2-stage listing, and it breaks down every little detail
Oh, you did it.
of what we do. And we keep adding to it because something will happen. One of you today, you mentioned about taking your video off YouTube when the listing sells, and I was like, oh, we don't have that on our plan. So it'll get, so it'll get added to the plan. And then again, there's a lot of stuff that's pre-written in the background. But there's, like I say, there's even a lot of little things that you take for granted. But again, at our age, we can't take anything for granted. The other thing is there's some accountability in there. I can see whether my assistant has completed the task in a timely manner, and if it's not getting done, and you'll see when I show you my to-do list for today, there's quite a backlog. And so then that forces me, as where the buck stops, to look and say, okay, what's going on? And the reality is I have so overused her in the last couple weeks. No human being can do everything. And so I'm gonna have to pick up some of that slack or hire another person, right? Who's sticking there?
So when you've done your to-do plans like that, then each day your to-do list comes up with the things that
I'm
have to
gonna
be
show
done.
everybody that, yeah.
Just wanted to make sure it was on the same page.
So, I don't know if you guys want me to go through this stuff or not. Like I say, it's all gonna be in your Dropbox. You all know what it is. There are some where we'll look at the actual link because it'll get kind of interesting afterwards. So we'll go now back again and we'll go to new listing stage 2. Just want to see where the funny ones are.
Sorry, how many categories did you have in the prior screen there? You had new listing. No, but there's new listing 1.
I think I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah, like this is something we discovered, that the mapping on
not always the same.
remax.ca is a nightmare.
Yep.
And never mind on realtor.ca, but we're having a real problem, so we've added that to our plan, that a reminder to check the mapping on it.
Has the place in
When
Gord.
there's
Go
an
back.
indication to email there, is BRO set up yet where it emails it automatically, or is it your reminder to go and do it?
It's the reminder, for which I'm thankful.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to go automatically, because there's too many times I have to customize it. And in all honesty, I think that's probably been the strength in my business, has been everything is personalized. And even though it's more work, I'm not willing to give that up at this point in time. I have to tell you, we're using this stress relief kit, which is BRO. Is it ever great? The sellers love it. We dropped one off yesterday with a new listing, and you know, it's got the paper clip in it to hold yourself together. It's got a lot of lifesavers. It's got a lot of funny little things in a poem that goes with it. So now with every new listing, we're dropping that off after a week, because by then they're really stressed. So yeah, if you click on it, you won't see anything other than who it's assigned to.
And is that in by referral?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
There's lots of stuff when you really spend a lot of
week in
time.
They've got audio messages
So you
on the
can go
side
back.
too. Do you do audio messages?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. So then, I mean, we don't have to go through all these because they're going to be in your plan. This is why I don't need 45 minutes. this shouldn't actually be here, that was an error. So we have, what happens when we get a price reduction? Our new listing, a firm deal buyers, firm deal sellers, an expired or a canceled listing. We often forget that there's certain things we have to take down off the internet or whatever. Closing plan for buyers and sellers. What happens when there's an accepted offer? So if you just go to the closing plan for buyers for a minute, there's just one thing I want to show you there. Send pizza email.
Gordon and I have been working on
Yeah,
this, and it's
me
been
too.
a bitch.
I can't believe you did this in a week.
Me neither. We've been working on it for 5 months.
Now how do I look at it? Sorry, this is something Chris does, so I don't, sorry. Okay, so send pizza email. If you go to email, where's email templates?
No.
Yeah, click on
No.
that.
Letter templates or email?
No, and then you click on the top box.
Okay,
No.
so pizza,
Okay, then-
email for buyers. So Chris automatically pulls that up and it's pre-populated. So congratulations, we know how stressful a move out can be. We want to do something for you. We want to arrange pizza delivery for you on moving day. Compliments of our team. Here's their instructions. Scroll down. Can you scroll down? Does that scroll down? Where's the link?
There's a file attached to it.
There's a file at the bottom there. Attached file.
The link is written in there. The hyperlink is please.
Like it's, yeah, it's all, oh, there, yeah. So, but it comes up as a hyperlink,
Yeah.
right? So all they have to do is click that. And then I made a Woofu form, which is free and easy. And it's a pizza order form that they fill out. What date and time they want it delivered, how much pop do they want with it. And they click send, and it comes to, you would think it was going to a pizza company. This is the way that it looks. They click send, it comes to us, well, it goes to Chris. And they automatically get an email acknowledging it, that the pizza, and a reinforcement of that Marg's team is really pleased that they had dealt with us.
Is that automatic from the system? Because the system can do that.
Yes, that now is all, but we still have to click to go ahead with that action.
Yeah, you have to order the pizza, but
No, we still have to go ahead with the action of saying send the email. Because we may have people, it's an estate sale, and you know, you're not gonna be sending them a pizza.
When you get a response like that Woofu form is filled out, you
That's
have to
all
then click
automated.
it, but who does it, Woofu or you guys, or this system?
I've pre-made the form in Woofu, so that's
They
it.
fill out the form, it comes to you,
Comes to us.
and that's it.
And that's it. It's finished. So
Then
it's
she
so
orders
easy
the
for
pizza,
them.
I think it's,
Well, Chris does, yeah.
and then Chris orders
I think
the
that's what
pizza.
Zan was looking
Right.
for when we had it.
I mean, you could set it up that if your local pizza delivery people have the email go to them. I mean, you could do that for sure. But again, we're just kind of control freaks, so we like to know what's happening.
Let's move for.
It's a free site that you can make forms. It's very easy. It was about a 20-minute learning curve.
Is that WUFO?
WUFOO.com.
I'm sorry,
Sorry, WUFOO.
You could actually use the BRO site to create a form.
Yeah.
You could use it as a landing
I
page.
started with that. I did not like their forms,
Doesn't
and I
look
don't
right.
like BRO's landing pages. Again, to me, the imaging is really important, and I don't like the imaging on the BRO stuff. And this was free, and it's just as easy to do it. So the point being wasn't to draw attention necessarily to Woofu or to delivering a pizza, but the point being that you can automate everything in advance. And so your letters, your emails that you're going to send, particularly if you have an assistant, if you can take the time and devote the time to getting it all set up, once it's done, it is so easy. I no longer have to say, well, to Chris, can you send a letter that says this, this, and this? And she'll go, well, what about this? And oh yeah, I forgot that. And like stuff like that was
Every
making me
time,
crazy,
yeah.
right? Because you're just too busy. So now, I never think about it. People say to me, hey, thanks for the pizza. And I'm like, you're welcome. I had no idea we sent them a pizza. I don't remember that we did that. So, if we now go, it's so weird doing it this way. If we go home, I guess. Let's go home. No, that's not home.
Dashboard is the
Where's the dashboard?
Back up the top
Oh,
right.
Oh, there we
right.
go.
Top
Back
right.
to dashboard. Let's go back to dashboard.
Top
Top
right in
right.
the blue, yeah.
Mark, just a question that came up, do you have a cap in terms of how much you order? We're wondering. Like on
Pizza.
that order form, for example, and they order 10 pizzas or whatever.
It's the.
Let's say they're like Curtis. and he
There's
gets
an
really hungry.
instruction to
He
them
sends
at
all
the
his buddies
top.
over. Sorry?
There's an instruction to
There
them
is?
at the top of the form,
Okay.
2 pizzas.
Oh, it does.
And so far, I've never had any. If they went over, it doesn't matter. I'm ordering the pizza. I still have control. I don't cap the number of drinks, but people are very reasonable about it. And I am really not going to argue over a $1.35 can of Coke if they order 6 extra. Right? So then, my client's advisory. See up there? There's my leads, and then my clients there. And go to contact list. Okay, that's fine.
You're gonna have to do that anyway.
Click login, Mark. And then if you just want to click on the to-do, so these are the to-dos that are out, so here you go, and these are all because of those plans. So I have to check for income properties for Wayne and Lori. It was due March 11th and it was assigned to me. And I've actually done it. I deliberately didn't mark complete so that I'd have some stuff for today to show you. Christina today, or right now, her 15-day review. She's a new buyer, and she's actually out today with my assistant looking at property. So that'll get marked complete tomorrow. These are from a new listing, so doing the Facebook teaser, gathering some stats for the seller's update for her first week being listed. Brad, no, that's funny. We've got 2 birthday remarks. Oh yeah, no, there's a reason for that. That damn 7 essentials.
Yes.
Yeah. So Brad has his birthday, so a reminder about that. Oh, my bad. This was yesterday. We did his pre-purchase inspection. I was supposed to get a photo of him, and I forgot. Because I didn't look at my to-do list before I went and met him. When people do an evaluation afterwards, if they do an evaluation on Rank My Agent and a written one that they send us back, we make a charity donation on their behalf.
Oh, nice.
So this is just to remind us. And then we email the charity and the receipt to them after the donation has been made. My assistant added this because these were people I had a bit of a challenge with, and she wasn't sure whether they should be on the whether I wanted to keep in touch with them or not. So she did ask me yesterday, do you want them on the touch point plan? And the answer was no. After a month after a deal closes, sending with the relaxed letter, it's with the movie tickets, you know, you've moved and blah, 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 kind of stuff. There's a birthday reminder coming up, like I can see in advance. Anything that's in red is overdue. These are today's, they're not overdue. And it's so simple because in the morning I make this, usually unless I'm going out on a pre-purchase inspection at 9, unless I'm going right out in the morning, this is the first thing I do every day. And it becomes like a little challenge, right? Because I want to mark complete and I want to get that list down. And when I'm done, all that's left are Chris's things. And then at the end of the day, I'm checking, did she get to that or she didn't get to that? And it's really, really made things so simple. So much faster, nothing falls through the cracks, and it's given me peace of mind that I didn't have before because I am a perfectionist. And I was always worried about what have I forgotten? So I can't say strongly enough. Now this, I don't have to look at this. I get an email every morning from BRO, and it tells me what's on my list. So I have the email there. I don't have to log on to my computer. I can do it all on my phone if I wish. Excuse me, I'm having a dreadful hot flash.
It's very warm here.
So do you mind if I take my pants off?
We had that comment this morning.
We can do a video together.
Welcome to Star.
I think Lou wants to do a video. He was talking about that this morning.
So that's basically all I wanted to show you guys today is how it's time consuming to do it once, but once you do it once, it is going to change the way that you do business. And as I say, any contact management system has the ability to input a to-do plan. And part of the key is pre-writing your templates too.
And the The funny thing about this, like I do this, and it's maybe I can, like I said, I'll go through and I'll pick up some of these things, you know, add some stuff for sure. But like you said, you picked on that pizza thing. It could be just that one pizza that will give you one extra piece of business next year.
It's true.
Yeah.
They talk about it, and
So it's about touching your clients, you know,
So
on
do I
a
with a
different level.
lifesaver.
and if you don't have the reminder, like again, this is all about systems. So if you don't have a reminder 5 days, because before I would get to closing day and go, oh, we should have sent them the pizza. You know, it's too late to do that. So now, you know, 5 days before the closing, that reminder's coming up, and it's all very relaxed. It's relaxed for them, you know, like
Marg,
it's changed everything.
when you went on the website, how did you find, I find it very difficult to navigate the website. So how did you find the stuff that you wanted?
I can't say I find it difficult at all, to be honest. If we go back up
To the dashboard?
just go to the gear settings.
Settings, okay.
So that's
The little wrench, the gear,
little
the
gear
nut or
up there
whatever
at
it
the
is.
end.
Yeah.
And then let's go to do plans. Like it's all there. They
Oh, I
always
know,
go to the
I
gear,
know,
right?
but in the to-do plans, there's nothing there. You have
No,
to find
you're
the to-do
gonna create
plan. So when you created them, you
Okay,
just had.
so see, new to-do plan. Let's click on
I got all that, Mark. Where did you get your lists from? Was it from the BRO website, or this is what
Oh,
you
you
were
mean
doing?
the content of
Correct,
each one?
yes.
No, Chuck. I started with Chuck
Okay.
and stealing his that he used.
And
in
that
all
was the one
plans, which is the same.
that's the one he sent to us.
And now we're gonna start with Marg.
And then I added to it for
Yes.
what works for my business, and
So
you have
Chuck's
things.
is on Facebook
Can I
already as
interject
well.
on a kind of philosophical thing, because
Yeah.
it's Star we all share.
Right.
And I
We call it
wanted to
steering.
get Mark's permission first before I approach BRO. Because I thought, well, if Chuck created it, Marg improved it. I know Ivan's got stuff to add, and I've got stuff to add, and Laura's got stuff to add. And I thought, well, why can't we approach BRO and say, hey, here's our system. Can we not just all import it? It's already done, and then we go and modify each
that's
one of ours.
wonderful.
I mean, that would be something would save someone. Then we'd have to take Marg out for lunch for the next year
Oh, no.
because
I doubt that their system would be robust enough.
no,
to
I know
be
they
able to
can do it.
that,
I
right?
know they can do it.
They
Yes,
can
They
do it. Yes,
absolutely
they
can do it. The
Yes.
question was because they can go in and they can do anything. And so we
Yeah.
ask if can we have, you know, all of the systems from whoever it is that's willing to share and say across the board. Would that be something that you'd be okay with?
Absolutely.
Because you know how we work is we would then come in and at the invitational maybe take a 2-hour session and say, hey, this is what I did to mine, and you know, somebody's bringing the popcorn back or this, that, and the other. And Rick
And you
has
know what,
something.
Zan, I
I'm
was
saying
t-
that too,
Zan,
I mean,
Like Rick and then
if
Barb.
everybody were to submit, and not just within Star Group, but within BRO, because,
then we wouldn't get it for a year and a half.
well, but we can start with ours, but then they can add, or ask other BRO people to add what they do, like
No, but this should
people
be
that do
confidential.
video.
This should be completely confidential.
Because all they would necessarily do then is when you're setting up a plan,
Unless
all
they
you'd
need
have
to
to
have
do
a
is
master.
That's why I
drag
was
them
asking
in
you to
off
have a
in
master.
order and create a menu.
It's a huge favor to get them to do that. That would be a
But you know
valuable thing
what?
because
But that's something they can
yeah,
get all BRO.
I would just be happy if they will say, okay, fine, we'll take Marg's or Chuck's or whoever. It wouldn't be Chuck,
Give
because
you a
Chuck
starting point.
actually doesn't use BRO. He
Anymore,
uses
yeah.
all clients,
Same
Right.
which is
Same
the
thing.
same thing,
Same
but
thing.
they're not interchangeable. They're not on the same service.
Which is crazy because they are essentially the same.
But the thing is that if we could go to BR and say, hey, look, can you just copy this? Obviously,
Zan?
pull out the name.
And I think they're willing to do that. I was talking to Jan, my coach, yesterday, and she was saying they're trying to give us value now that the dollar has changed. And she said, your group has a huge influence as to what they do with the Canadian BRO people.
Yeah.
So I think if you called and asked, they would do it.
Well, I have a call scheduled with Jeff because I wanted to find out what's happening with the card. Like how
They're
they
working
made the
on that
decision.
too, but they felt, she told me about what was going on with that as well.
Yeah, so the reality is, you know, we want some answers to know where are you at. This would be a huge help because you can imagine if you like wake up tomorrow and there are all the systems in there.
And you don't have to do it.
You could just delete and add or change and the emails and the whole deal. Yep.
But when you do that and you're in there, how do you link your letters to these? Because each line then is linked to a letter. Like when you pulled up the email, was the email in that to-do list? And you had to put that letter there though, didn't you?
She
When
made me
I
up.
created the to-do
Correct.
plan.
Yeah.
So-
Never again, just once.
So if we did that with Mark's stuff, would that same letter be there for us?
No.
Or we would have to put in our own
I
letter?
think you'd have to, and it wouldn't make
course.
sense to use my letters, because it's not gonna be, you're not gonna have the same content and links, and you're in a different area. But the plan itself.
I like what I see though.
I mean, it's not that hard for you to create the plans. I've given it to you, or I will give it to you in Dropbox, and that part being done,
That's
you could
huge.
probably put all
anything you
those
want.
plans in if you
Yeah.
wanted in 3 hours.
Yeah.
The thing is taking the time to think quietly about what you do and what works in your market, because it really is different. I mean, I will show property till the cows come home to somebody who's looking at buying a recreational property. In the GTA, you might be out once and you're in a competing offer situation. I might be out for a year and a half,
Yeah.
you know, for a $120,000 condo. It's a totally different. I also wanted, just for those of you that aren't using BRO, or you are, to show you how I've done it. So this is one of my favorite clients. They're a raving fan. So anybody 2 or more referrals is a raving fan. 1 referral is a supporter. So I actually spend a lot of time focusing on supporters because they have potential to become raving fans. They're in my top 20. Of course, my icon is a heart. And my top 20 are the people that get home show tickets and various different things. Touchpoint annual plan is the, you know, mailing newsletters and various things we do to our top 150. Then I also have, you can tell they've bought a lot of properties. The year that they closed, because people will move roughly every 3 to 5 years. And so that's also part of my annual touchpoint plan. I focus on people from the last 3 years, so I pick those dates up every year. From the 7 essentials, the new referral stuff, I'm only using these 2 as far as database is concerned, so they're in there. Interested in buyer, selling, Collingwood, that is again, when I do the matching, and we work Collingwood, Blue Mountain, Osage Beach, like we have all these different territories. The main thing here, that flag that I'm after, is the town, right? So if I have a new buyer or a new seller and I want to match and see if I have a you know, a potential. So they're a buy and sell prospect. So I'll put in a buy and sell prospect or a buyer prospect looking in Collingwood, and I'll get immediately a list of everybody in my database that has that criteria in there, and it makes it really quick and easy for doing match stuff. And then of course you have, I mean, that's kind of private stuff, so in case anybody knows these people, but you know, where you can keep track of everything that you've done. Then we have quick hits, like I know what their favorite restaurant is. I know the names of their kids, so if I'm talking to them, I can pull the screen up really quickly, because I would never in a million years remember their grown kids' names, even though they're on my database too, but I wouldn't. I know I just wouldn't. And then, you know, if I have a to-do list for those people by email history with them, the appointments, everything's there. So if you just click on Edit Contact, which is up there, and then if you scroll down, these are the flags, and I really, and there, you can scroll down more. I really struggled with the flags, because when I started with BRO, I thought that, you know, I should have 1 or 2 flags.
No.
And now I think I have 30 different options there that you can select from. The more I have, the better
I
it
have
is.
more.
So-
Yeah, I have more.
Can we
Yeah.
find out what you guys have on your flags? Like, because I have a lot as well, and that's how we categorize a lot of stuff. But you've got a way more better
this, by
flags
the
than
way,
I have.
a lot of this we did do at the Invitational last year, and it's on in the BRO Dropbox. If you
It
go
is.
through, a lot of people have already
For
done
the
that.
flags?
Yeah, share
Okay.
their flags, because I got a lot of mine there.
Okay.
Mark, the other
Everybody.
thing I found very helpful is the reports. So if you want to know in a month ahead of time what's happening, you can go into the reports section. It tells you, because of all your things you put in it, what's happening that month, how many birthdays you have, how many people's closings have happened that month, whatever you've put in. So I put the closing date,
Yeah.
so I want to do an anniversary letter to them. And if you do the reports, it gives you the full thing for that month, so you can look ahead a month and go, oh, I gotta remember to get this for them.
And
or
we do,
whatever.
and again, it's only as good as the data that
You
you've
put in,
input.
absolutely.
But we do that the middle of the month, so middle of March, we're pulling up April birthdays, and making sure that all of those cards are getting out for the month of April that we're doing. Chris will just print out a list and give it to me. She said, you want to send all these people cards? And I'll go, I'm mad at them right now, yeah, that one. Told you I'm very
How
personalized.
many people are in your database?
Hang on just for a sec.
So you're not doing the email birthday then? The email.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, I
So
am.
you're doing that and a written card to
Well, we're just transitioning
Oh.
from what?
from the written
special
cards
birthdays and
to
7
this,
essentials.
because the 7 essentials we only activated 2 weeks ago. So,
Okay, so you're not going to do the snail mail anymore. You're just going to do the,
I'm gonna try that
Okay.
and see. I'm a little.
I've gotten good response back. People will email me back and say, wow, thanks for remembering. You did all this research. And of course, you're not going to say, no, I didn't do the research. But
Right.
it was really cool.
Same.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. We've had the first couple, I think, go out. That's it. So, how many do I have in my database is actually a really good question, because I used to use Top Producer, and I've been in the business 26 years. So there's, so you know. And I had over 3,000 people in my database. And for those of you that use Top Producer, it's a very great, robust CRM, but it is a technically difficult program. And I was one of the first users when it was still a DOS-based program. So they did all their beta testing and stuff like that on people like me. And so what happened is they kept adding features over the years, but they weren't necessarily playing nicely with old features anymore. And it got to the point that I felt like a slave to my database. So when I went to BRO, I cannot believe I did this. I transferred over. I made myself a goal of 200 records only. And everybody else could go to hell. It was kind of my attitude. You know what happens? You get 15, you get cranky. So it's like, why do I want people in my database that I sold to 18 years ago that I've never heard from, and I don't remember what they look like. They don't remember what I look like. It's time to rejuvenate and take some of this pressure off me and stop being a phony salesperson. So I challenged myself to pick my top 200, and it was 227. It was the best that I could do. And so I transferred 227 people, and I hit delete on Top Producer.
Wow.
Painful.
It's very painful.
But liberating. Liberating. And last year was my best year ever, and by 50%.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's the difference, because I started focusing in on the people who mattered.
Yeah.
And I feel more connected, thanks to this. I feel so connected to my database, and it's so rewarding.
Do you use Deals at all? Do you use Deals?
No, I don't use the Deals on
Deals
that.
is amazing.
Yeah, we don't.
Because someone introduced Trello, well, it was you. And I thought, holy shit, I can't learn this and this and this. But in Deals, you have a version of Trello which takes your client all the way through the process. It was amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
click
we
on,
just haven't done it yet.
Deals. No,
We'll
but just click on
probably.
Deals.
It's going to be easy once you.
Deals,
Yeah.
just click on it, and you'll see how easy it is.
I've
We should
clicked
let
on it
Mark
for
finish
sure.
first, guys.
Barb's gonna come back and
No, I'm
teach
not.
us some more
No, I'm not.
stuff
No,
on
I'm not.
deals
I'm not.
when she's gonna do a presentation.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I'm
I will.
sure
All
that
right.
that it is easy, but as you can see, there's been a phenomenal
But I'm
amount
going to go hunt
of work in progress in the last 6 months on this, and we are really busy, so we can't implement everything.
Oh, one thing.
The next thing that I really did look at was landing pages, because I'm redoing the website, and determined that I didn't want to use them in BRO and go a different direction. You know, there's no rule that says you have to use everything. You use what works for you, right? For $99 a month, I can't tell you the value that I've gotten out of this, not only from this seemingly Mickey Mouse. My first reaction when I looked at this after using Top Producer was, what a Mickey Mouse program, and it really is
That's
from
how
a
I was
programming
thinking.
standpoint. However, it's the most useful
User-friendly.
thing that I've used in 26 years,
User friendly.
because it's user-friendly, it's easy, it just removed a lot of stress, and as I say, I'm more engaged with my clients than I've ever been, and it's because of this. I no longer have guilt. All the guilt is gone, you know, from that stuff. And so we want to look at deals. We want to move towards that. My assistant uses something else right now in addition to Trello. And Trello is pure, it's free. And we use Trello just purely to, I'll be like, how many deals have we done this year? I can just look on Trello, right?
But
see what's,
you'll see that in deals, it's the exact same as Trello.
right. And you know, we'll probably end up doing that. It's just we have a system that works for us right now.
Oh, no, and I
So-
agree. I agree. We're just learning things as well.
So we use top producer. So when you say deals, are you talking about
Transactions.
closing,
In there in the top.
inputting, which ends up in your to-dos and whatnot? About, okay. So
It's
this
not
does
as
or does
robust.
not
It does all of that.
the same as
It's not as robust as top producers by a mile. It isn't. And the financial program doesn't even touch it. I've talked to the coaches about that. Like, it's essentially no financial program compared to
It's
what
just
you
okay.
had
in top
in
producer.
That's
top
okay.
producer.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now we're just
Quicken.
using QuickBooks
Yeah,
because
we
we've
have
got
I use
other
Simply
stuff we have to
Accounting.
put in there. Yeah.
I just don't like all my money, everything in their database. Like, really, I don't
Yeah.
want them with my money
Yeah.
and banking and.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. So no,
So we
deals management. Barb can talk to that another time because
I
certainly
walked into that one, didn't I?
I certainly can. And the other thing for people who don't use BRO, or even people who do, take time to play with it and explore it. Like if you go back to the dashboard, it is a hard site until you get used to it to find things in. But there's
1-800.
nuggets in there.
Where is it?
Like the relax letter, the stress relief kits. The number
I
one
like the stress
best
relief
thing
kit. I
ever
think that's
is the
amazing.
blue plate special. Does anybody use that?
That was Gary Meagher's a few years ago.
I found it buried in the site here. Oh my
I don't
god,
know,
the
but I
best
look
thing.
for it.
So we went out and we bought blue plates, and we happened to find really beautiful blue plates, and a diary to go with it. And we found diaries with the same blue cover and gilded edges. And it was just like meant to be. A white napkin, a very blingy napkin ring to go with it. And then there's a poem in BRO. And it's about creating memories in your home. And it's that this is the blue plate special. So for every milestone that family may have, or you, or whatever terminology you're going to use, whether it's a birthday or a great report card, or a renovation, or you know something that they've done, the person who has achieved that special moment gets to use the plate that night for dinner. Well, for those of you that follow my Facebook page, you'll see it. People get this and go crazy over it. They love it. It has such emotional reaction. And the first thing they do is say, we had occasion to use it because little Jimmy brought home an A on his report card, so he got to use the blue plate tonight. And they put it on Facebook. Thanks from our realtor, Marg, Scheben-Edey, and the Hyperlink. That really do it. So if you go on the dashboard, from the dashboard to the
So top right
during,
again?
it's in the during touch points. But you actually have to go deep to
Top
find
right.
it. But it's in there. If
That's
anybody
awesome.
has trouble finding it, you can email me and I'll find you the link on
In
the
the
site.
middle, second one.
Yeah,
right?
like it's
You could
in
also
the
do it in
during-
the search button, I believe.
No,
During
no,
the
it's
dance.
No,
Oh,
the
it's
search
hard.
button is
Not
like a
so good, eh?
nightmare.
That's the one thing it doesn't do.
Anybody see it?
You can hit Command F for blue plate. Type in blue.
Command.
Huh?
Yeah, type in blue. And it should pop up if it's there. No, it's not there.
Okay, so it's not in that page. So
It might be
after
still.
the during.
It's in the after unit.
Control
Maybe in the after
F.
unit.
That's like another search button.
It's a follow-up in the after
So
unit.
go back to, no, it's not in the after.
Search there.
I don't think.
Is that only for a Mac or is it for everything?
It's everything.
Uh,
I do it all the time.
Windows will have a different command, but
Control.
Control, yeah, okay, Control F probably.
Mine's Control F.
See, now you end up on the BRO search.
We got the gist anyway.
Which is horrible. Like, I hate the BRO search. I swear to you, it's there. If you go back to the during unit and go to, no, we gotta go back one. How did this happen? How did this happen? Go back another. Okay. Turnkey.
Turnkey touch.
And then celebration, maybe?
Yeah.
See, this is what I really do dislike about BRO. And no, it's not that.
Let me try blue here.
Because some of the stuff's so old, that's what they put in my head.
Cool.
Great, we've crashed the computer.
3060.
You can find it.
And that's what
Ah,
Kathy
it's
said.
all right.
Anybody that finds it, post the link on Facebook.
And they're having fun.
Okay, there we go, it is in
And that's why I
our,
started waiting through.
There.
Celebrations,
Yeah.
that's great, yeah, you're right.
so it is, so
Scroll
keep
down.
going, it must be down
down?
lower.
There you
Oh,
go.
there it
Play
is.
special, there you go, everything, it's all there.
It's all there
Okay, let's read it.
for you, and the special poem is there, which we actually
Well, there's your
modified.
pizza,
There was-
there's your pizza order form, and that's the one you didn't like, right?
Right, we didn't like
Okay.
that one, but we steal from it, right? Like,
Yeah.
use what works for you and what doesn't. I find if you go to the during, or the, in the before, during, or after, monthly